Okay.
Hi guys. So welcome
Mm,
to the LR series, and let's start with our first topic, arrangement. So the sets on arrangements are based on placing a group of persons, objects in a particular order or sequence as per the information given in the problem set. Now these sets on arrangements can further be classified into two categories, linear and circular. In this video we are going to discuss about the linear arrangement. So linear arrangement means placing or arranging a group of objects, persons linearly. That is, placing them along a straight line or a row. It is not necessary that there is only a single line along which the arrangement has to be made. There can be multiple rows or lines along which the arrangement can be done as per the problem set. As the objects are arranged along a row, the position of these objects assumes great importance. So now before we start solving sets based on linear arrangement, so there are few terminologies that we need to understand. So first is when we say that A is sitting next to B, it means that A and B are adjacent to each other. This could be either AB or BA case, right? As you can see in the image, we have placed both A and B together. It does not matter whether A is on the left and B is on the right when it's only given that these two are just sitting next to each other. Alright. So next is when we say that A is sitting two places to the left of B. Alright. So now we have actually classified that A is on the left side of B and it is placed two places to the left. So as you can see in the image, we have drawn A dash B, which signifies that A is sitting two places to the left of B. Now in these questions, we always assume one particular direction. So it's better to assume the direction upwards so that you can, easily manage left and right things. Yeah, so next we have, when we say A and B are sitting at the extremes. So when we say A and B sitting at the extremes, we mean that both A and B are in the endpoints. It can be on the left side or it can be on the right side. If it is not mentioned, we will consider both the cases. So when A and B sitting at it means we're talking of the leftmost and rightmost positions, and these are occupied by A and B. Alright. So okay, now let's move on to the next case where we say C is sitting exactly between A and B. So okay, so it can mean two to three things when we can say that okay whether C is sitting exactly between A and B. In this case, we have three cases. For example, where we're still not sure about the position of A and B, we'll mark it A slash B. So it can be A or B, then C sitting, then C sits, and then it could be the other person of A and B. So if in one case it's a we assume that A C B is also a valid case and B C A is also a valid case. Now when we say C is sitting exactly between A and B, it just means that the number of people between A and C is equal to the number of persons sitting between C and B. So there can be more than one people, there can no people at all, and it can also be just one person. Alright, so we are still not sure about the number of people sitting between them. For example, if you see in the third case, there are two people sitting between either side of C. Alright, so these are some cases that we need to discuss between before going on to our problems. Alright, so okay. So let's move on to our first example. So this is a quite simple one just to make sure that you get all the concepts here. So we have a question where A, B, C, D, E and E, F and G are sitting in a row, and it's known that B and E are sitting at the extreme end, and C is two places to the left of A. This is in the second question, second statement. A is sitting exactly between F and D, and G is not adjacent to C, whilst and the next part is C is adjacent to D. Alright, so and these are the questions of this question. So you can just rewind the video a bit and pause it and try to solve the question on your own first, and after giving it a time of 5 minutes or so, then you can look up for the solution. Yeah, so now we'll see the solution for this problem. So as we can read from the first point, it says that B and E are sitting at the extremes. Alright, so it can be that either B is sitting here and E is sitting here, or it can be that E is sitting here or B is sitting here. But we are sure that either of B or E are sitting at the ends. So B and E cannot sit in these 5 places, right? So next, move to the next clue. It says that C is 2 places to the left of E. So see, now we are assuming that all these people are facing this way. Until and unless it is not given, we will assume that all of these people are facing in the same direction. Alright. So now it's we have assumed that all the direction of these people are facing up. So when we read the point C is 2 places to the left of E, we know that E cannot be at this place because there is no seat on the left of E. So from this point, without even using this exactly, we can be sure that E is not sitting here. That means here is B and here is E. Right. So this way we have to find clues between the clues. So now it says that C is 2 places to the left of E. So 1 and 2. We'll write C here. Right. The next point it says A is sitting exactly between F and D. Right. So we can just create a map here that A is sitting exactly between F and D. So somewhere here will be F and here will be D, or it can be D is sitting here and A, and then somewhere here is F. So now let's put this into this diagram. Let's assume if A is sitting here, then there is no place left for F or D. That means that A cannot sit here. Can A sit here? Yes. A can sit here, then we'll have two options for F and D, that can be these two places. Right. Can A sit here? Yes, it can. So if A sits here, D and F cannot sit here, so D and F have to sit here or here, right? So and A cannot sit here because then there will be no place left for F and D to sit. So we are sure that A can sit either here, here, or either here or here, right? So A, there are two places for A. Okay, next move to the next clue. It says that G is not adjacent to C. Alright, so we now know that G cannot sit in these two places. So for G we have these two places, right? So we'll just write down G on top. So just that we remember that G have these two places to sit. Alright, cool. And while C is adjacent to D. So C is adjacent to D means that D has to sit either here or here, right? So I'll just note down D here and here. Alright. So now we'll have to find clues between the clues, right? So let's revisit the point where we say that A is sitting exactly between F and D. So if A sits here, F and D can sit here and here, right? And if A sits here, then F and D can sit here and here, which means that one of F or D must be here, because in any of the cases, whether A sits here or here, F and D, I mean at least one of them will sit here. So we are sure that G cannot sit here. So this place is reserved for either F or D. So G cannot sit here, and there is only one place left for G, which will be this one. Right. Now also with this we are also confirmed with the position of A, because if A cannot sit here, he has only one place left. So we can write A here, and we are clear of the A, where A will sit. So yes, also we had two positions for D. right? So we had this one or this one. So it is clear that D cannot sit here, and then D will sit here, and there's only one place left, which will be F. So this will be our final diagram where B, F, G, A, C, D and E are sitting. And now let's look at the questions and answer them. So the first question says, who is sitting two places to the right of G? So the answer will be 1 and 2 and C. So the answer will be C. Next question is, who is which of the following is true? So D is sitting exactly between B and G. So D is exactly between B and G. So which is false. A is 3 places to the left of E. To the left of E. So 1, 2 and 3. So this statement is true. We'll mark this and move on. You can also verify the other statement, which will come out to be false. Okay, so let's move to a tougher problem. Alright, so this is a big problem and it's one of the tough problems in this series. So if you can solve this, then trust me, you can solve any other problem with ease. There might be one or two problems, but don't be worried. Every problem is solvable in LR specifically. Alright, so next example is so we have 6 boys B1 to B6 and 6 girls G1 to 6, and they are standing in 2 rows facing towards each other. So maybe I forgot to capture this line. It says that they are standing in 2 rows facing towards each other. So now we know where they are facing. You know, all the boys are in the one row and all the girls are standing in the other row. The following facts are known about them and are respect to the individuals talked about. And these are the points given. So neither B1 nor B6 are at the rightmost end. In the last point, it's given that neither G1 nor G5 are at the leftmost end. And the second point says that B2 is at the leftmost end, but not opposite to G6. G4 is not at the extreme end. B4 is opposite to G2, who is to the immediate right of G1. G6 is to the right of G1, and G4 is opposite to B5, who is to the left of B4. Yeah, so this is the question. Just pause the video and try to solve this. And here comes the question that we have. If B5 is to the immediate right of B1, then who is to the immediate right of B4? How many total arrangements are possible? Who is opposite to G1? So people, when we are faced with the problem that how many total arrangements are possible, then you know somewhere should have a doubt that maybe more than one possible solutions could be there. Alright, so it must not be that okay you have to fill everything and each and everything in that. Just try to fill most of them so that you are left with a max of 2 or maximum of 3, not more than that solutions. Alright, so okay, now let's move on to the solution. So we have drawn 2 lines in which we have said, okay guys, people, just pause the video and just try to solve this question because this is an important question. So you should be trying to solve this question first before moving on to the solution part. So just do it right now. Yes. All right, so let's look at the solution. So we have drawn 2 lines. We have marked 6 people on each row. We have taken boys on the top and girls on the bottom. All right, so and we have also marked the direction. Now we just have to fill in the blanks as the question says. So neither B1 nor B6 are the right end, so we have marked that B1 and B6 cannot be. Now in the question it says right end, so we have to make sure that the direction which is being talked about is with respect to the people used in that statement. So if we have talked about the boys, then the right means right side of the boys. So as we have marked the direction of the boys from upside down, we have also take the right position with respect to them. Okay, neither G1 nor G5 are the left end, so we have also crossed out the G1 and G5. Alright, then we have that B2 is at the left end but not opposite to G6. So the left part is being talked with respect to B2. So we have assigned B2 on the left side, and we have also said, and we have also crossed out G6 on the right side. And it is also given that G4 is not at the extreme end, right? So we have also crossed out G4 from both the places, from both the ends, right? And it is also given that neither G1 nor G5, right? So we have crossed G1 and G5 also. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so the next part is a bit crucial. So it says that B4 is opposite to G2, right? So let's suppose we have B4 here and we will have some G2 here, right? B4 is opposite to G2, who is immediate right of G1. Now G2 is immediate right of G1. So as a direction of the girls is upward direction, so G1 will come here, right? So just right and then opposite. Okay, so we've got this diagram from this clue. Alright, so the next point says that okay, the G5 is in the right of G1. G6, right? Sorry. So G6 is to the right of G1. So now the next place is occupied by G2. So it's definitely going to be somewhere around here. Okay, we don't exactly know that which of these places is going to be occupied by G6. So let's mark it dot 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 dot. Alright. And it also says that G4 is opposite to B5. Okay, so okay, somewhere here is G4, G4, yeah, and B5, yeah, so somewhere here is B5. It's opposite to G4, right? And G4 is opposite to B5, and who is to the left of B4? So B5 is to the left of B4. Now the direction of the boys is in this way, so left side of B4 becomes B5, right? This gets connected. Alright, and also this, it is not said that it is the immediate left, so we'll mark it something like this. So this is a small diagram that we get using this information, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to put this diagram into this, and let's see where it fits in. Alright. So let's try put G1 and G2 together in this line. So G1 cannot come here, right? So G1, G2 and G6 can be here, and G1, G2, G6 can be here. G6 cannot be here, right? But as we can see that if G1 and G2 comes here, right, and G6 comes here, then there is no place left for G4. As in this diagram we can see that G4 must be after G2, right? Because B5 comes on the left side of B5 if seen from here, and then G4 is just opposite to B5, right? So we can easily say that G4 must be on the right side of the G2. So when we place G1, we must see that G2, G6 and G4, all three of these can take places somewhere. Now as it is given that G6 and G4 cannot be placed here, so we cannot put G1 and G2 here, because we cannot put G6 and G4 in these two places combined. So it is fixed that G1 and G2 will come here and here. So let me just write that down. So G1 and G2 are here. Alright. So we can also clean up the G1 and G6 things so that it doesn't confuse us. Alright. And also we know that G4 is on the right side of G2. Then we can also clear this thing. And it said that G4 cannot be here, right? And so yeah. So now we have two places for G6 and G4. So they can come here interchangeably. So let's write down G4, G6 and G6, G4. Alright, so if we take G4, here comes G6. If we take G6, here comes G4. Alright. Alright, so now let's fill the rest of the girls. So now we have placed 1, 2, G4 and G6 will come somewhere around here. Both of these places will be occupied. And we are left with G5. Now we know that G5 cannot be here, then there's only one place left for G5, which will be here, right? And the only girl left is G3. So now we can easily say that G3 will be here. We're still not sure about the places for G4 and G6. Okay, now coming to boys, we can see that B4 is just opposite to the G2. So we can say that B4 is here, right? Also G5 must be towards the left of B4 if seen in this direction. So we can say that B5 will be somewhere around here. B5. Alright, so now we are sure that B5 is somewhere around it cannot be here. So which all boys are left? So we have placed 2, we have placed 4, 1 and 6 cannot be here, 3 is left, right? So let's see if 1 and 6 cannot be here, right? And B5 is somewhere around here. So there are only 2 places left for B1 and B6. Either B1 stays here and B6 come in one of these, or B6 come here and B1 comes in one of these. So the only place left for B3 is left, which is this place, right? So we just gonna clear all this because now we're sure that B3 is going to come here. Alright, so we are still unsure about the rest of the things, right? So we have used up all the clues and everything. Now there's one major thing that I need to share with you guys, is that whenever you feel or whenever you see there's only 2 cases for something, you should draw another diagram with same things and just assign one values in the one case and other values to the other case. Like for example, in this case, if I'm going to draw, so I'm going to draw 2 lines here. Right, I'm going to assign all the values here. Right, so this is for boys, this is for girls, this is the direction. Alright, now I know that okay, G4 and G6 I have some doubt here. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll place G4 here and G6 here in this case, and I'll place G4 here and G6 here in this case. Now how will this help me is like if I place 4 6 4 here and 4 6 here, right? So what it does is it makes me easier to think. Now I can assume that 4 and 6 are here and 6 and 4. So whenever I apply something new in this, I apply to both of these diagrams. Alright, so this makes it easier. So yes, so now we have so we have to go through these rules again to see the diagram. And it said like okay, B5 is opposite to G4, right? So now we can place G5 to B4. See, so this is the easier way to solve things. So now we can place almost everything, just we have these 2 cases. So either this can be true or this can be true. So we're still unsure about the 1 and 6 part, right? So we'll just mark okay, 1 and 6 and 6 and 1, and similarly here we'll mark 1 and 6 and we'll mark 6 or 1 in these cases. So this is the final diagram for this question. So we don't have to actually make 2 more and 2 more for this, because we have almost used all the clues in our given question. And let's move on to the questions for now. Yeah, so for the solutions, the first question is if B5 is to the immediate right of B1, then who is to the immediate left of B4? So B5 is to the immediate right of B1. So in these 2 cases, B5 can be on the immediate right of B1 only in the first case, in the upper case. Because as the direction of boys is upside down, so we have to think upside down. So b5 can only be on the right of 1 only in the first case if we place 1 on the left side of 5. So the question is, who is to the immediate left of b4? So immediate left of b4 is b5, right? So the b5 is the answer. So it's not mentioned in the options, but the answer is b5. So the options are wrong in the question paper that I have. Alright, so the next question that we move on is how many total arrangements are possible, right? So we have two cases, and in each case there are two more cases, right? For 1 and 6 both. So there are total of 4 arrangements possible. Right, so the answer is 4. The third question is, who is opposite to Jivan? In the first case, we cannot determine either it's 1 or 6. The same goes with the second case. Right, so the answer is cannot be determined in this question. So these are the answers. So thank you all for watching this video, and hope you got to learn something from this. Subscribe for more videos on this channel, and do like and comment your doubts, and let me know where you stuck, and maybe I'll help you. Thank you.